Hi guys, it's Holly here at Faces, and this afternoon I'm with the lovely Francesca from City Spa London. Francesca, thank you so much for sitting down with me and having a chat with me today.
Thanks for inviting me, Holly.
You're more than welcome. So, just to kick things off, let's talk about your business. So, City Spa, how did it all start? How have you built your business to where it is now? Just give us the lowdown on everything.
Okay, cool. So I started my business back in 2017. I was working in a nightclub, unsociable hours, and I was just expecting my first baby.
Oh,
So, okay, right, something needs to change. I've been procrastinating doing microblading training for years, and I was like, no, now's the time. So I took a course, loved it, fell in love with it. Managed to build some good clientele from there, and then I transitioned to doing ombre brows. Um, and then after, it's only been this year that I've started teaching, and I've just fallen in love with that. So now it's just a mixture, strictly brows and training. It's been great.
amazing. I love how you just like browse, that's it, that's my niche. Have you ever like thought about doing like other SPMU or even like aesthetics? Has that ever crossed your mind at
Mhm.
all?
So I am actually trained in all types of PMU, but the brows has just ended up being my niche, and that's what I love. So although I'm trained, I don't actually offer those services. And I am a nurse by background, so I do actually do aesthetics as well. I would just find that the brows is my passion as much as I love fillers.
Oh, do you know what? I love that. I love how you've gone from like nurse to nightclub to brows. Like it's just like a really diverse.
Place until you find your niche, and I'm not moving now.
No, I love that because I think a lot of the time, practitioners, particularly when they first qualify in a treatment, no matter
Yeah,
what it is, there's that pressure to feel like you've got to offer everything. And
yeah,
I think you're kind of a real testament to show that, as long as you have the passion, even if you offer only a few treatments,
yeah.
like keep at it and become really good at that.
Yeah, definitely. And something I say to my students is like create your niche. Like you don't need, like I said, 500 treatments. Be really good one, two, three things, and people will come to you because then you'll become an expert in those skills. So
Yeah.
don't spread yourself in. Find the things that you really like. You'll have to try a few before you find them. Goodness knows I had. I did lashes once and I realized this is
Yeah.
not for me. And then your space, and then your business will grow from there.
Yeah, exactly. So, with regards to building your client base, then that's something which a lot of people really struggle with because it does
Mhm.
take patience and consistency.
Yeah.
What would you say has sort of the top tips? What's helped you in terms of growing your client base throughout sort of your career within Browse?
I mean, for me, the main one is social media.
Yeah.
Social media, I'm not a massive fan, but for business purposes, it's amazing. I mean, I'd say still 85% of my clients come through Instagram. The rest come through referrals, which is amazing, but that's all very organic. But in terms of like reaching those new clients, especially with something like Ombre Brows, where it's like a one-time service, you'll
Yeah.
see your clients, yeah, but you're not seeing them every 2 weeks like you would for lashes.
Yeah.
You really need consistently push yourself out there. And Instagram and TikTok are great platforms for doing that for free.
And with regards to the content you're posting, is it like videos of the treatment? Like what kind of post do you like to do?
People want to see your face.
Yes, it's so true.
So I post a mixture of pictures of my lifestyle, pictures of definitely my work, pictures of my students working, testimonials, reviews, everything. Gather as many reviews as you can because people might see a picture, but they want to know that it's legit.
Yeah.
But videos over flat pictures tend to work best, and then people engage with them. Have conversations with people. Just be open and be yourself. It's very hard to be fake if you're consistently posting videos.
Yeah, that's so true. And I think what you said about the client base as well, like I didn't even think of that. Like with PMU, you're so right. Like obviously treatments like dermal filler can sometimes be like a once a year thing.
Yeah.
But if you're specifically just doing brows, you need that constant new client base coming in, don't
Yeah,
you?
yeah, definitely. So yeah, you do need that constant client base, and people. What's really good is people referring their friends. So you tend to get the daughter that comes first, then the mum will come, then the auntie will come, then the friend. So that's really nice. Like
I
you
love
might also
that.
know people through association. So they'll be like, "Oh, you saw my friend last week," or "You saw my friend
Yeah.
last year. You did eyebrows. I was just getting ready.
Oh, I love that, especially when you're giving a whole family like gorgeous sets of brows. Like I created this. What would you say is sort of your proudest moment when it comes to your business, or kind of the thing that makes you look back and think, do you know what, like I'm so tough that I did that. Like what's your sort of your story?
I would say I've actually got two things. One of them is that training other students, like I still can't believe people want to learn from me. That's like quite surreal to be. And it's really nice to just like work with people and spend time with them and help them create their own future, which leads me on to the second point, is that my business has enabled me, to like buy a house and go traveling, spend time with my family, all of these things that are really important that lots of people want to do but maybe not brave enough to do.
Yeah.
Perhaps, or they don't know where to start, or all of these types of things. They just need a bit of guidance, and like lots of these tips and tricks that I've picked up from multiple courses I can then share with my clients, and I love that.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's it. I think a lot of people qualify in a treatment or treatments, and they just feel like they've hit a brick wall already before they've even started, because I think often, I mean, you'll know from being a trainer yourself, but I think a lot of the time students are so focused on just actually doing the practical, getting through the course and qualifying. Then it's, okay, where do I get my products from? How do I run my business? How do I set up a business account? There's all these things. So doing the treatment is such a tiny aspect of actually running a business.
I really agree with you, and I think that it's really, you should be mandatory that these other things are included as part of training, because lots of people don't know, like you said, they don't know how to create a reel on Instagram. And I went through with my student this afternoon. We've just been through, okay, like this is where you find the trending reels, this is how you need to make it, this is the type of content that people want to see. Hey, let's set up the lighting of the camera, make sure you've got a ring light, make sure you've got like cleaned your camera, all these things which might seem really silly, but actually will make the difference between her making bookings and her not making bookings. It's not enough just to learn the skill.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, I'm horrendous at making reels, so I can't even imagine how like tough it must be, like actually like relying on it for your client base in your business. You should definitely do some like videos for Faces talking about social media, because like even I could take some tips from you, to be honest. But social media is just such a huge
it is everything. It's literally everything. I wouldn't have a business without social media. It would be a very different business style, but I think a lot of businesses heading this way.
Yeah, 100%. That's it, because everyone's on their phones 24/7, aren't they? I think as well with the nature of beauty and aesthetics and semi-permanent makeup and this whole industry, it's all social media based, isn't it? It's like looking at people, feeling influenced by the way somebody looks or what somebody's doing.
People want to see work in almost as close in person as they can see, and the easiest way for them to do that is through videos. Like pictures almost not enough to convince people. They want to see that person is also real.
100%. And I was speaking to someone the other day about how, like, when it comes to before and after pictures, like so many of them are edited. There's practitioners who add like makeup onto their clients, and like it's just so not real, and the expectations are just like ridiculous when it comes to clients, because they see something which just is not achievable.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely.
Yeah. So any top tips for social media beginners? Do let us know.
My top 3 be clean your camera. You might not think your phone's dirty, but it is. Scrub your camera, take a picture. That's number 1. Number 2 is get good lighting, 100%. Get a ring light. I mean, they've even got those little lights which go on top of your phone. But lighting is everything. And number 3, sorry, is stay active. You need to be posting like all the time, especially if you're new to the industry. You need to be posting at least like consistently, at least like once a day. Once you've got a bit more of a established following, it's not as necessary, but you definitely need to appear active on your socials.
Yeah. Okay. Great tip. So thank you for that. Anybody who's struggling, these are your tips. Clean your camera lens, number one. That takes 2 seconds. Then you're already on your way.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to the Faces app then. So obviously you've used Faces for quite some time now, which is great. You're very much a loyal Faces user. How would you say how would you say Faces has helped in terms of growing your business, but also just like managing it in general?
Mm-hmm. So actually, when I first started in 2017, I was doing everything on paper. And then like, as I grew, I just ended up with like so much paper, and you have to keep your files in the aesthetic and permanent makeup world for at least 7 years.
Yeah.
So I was just having so many files, and it just got like out of control. And then I don't actually know how I came across Faces. I just did, and since then I've just used it. And actually, it's been nice to see the evolution of the app because it's really changed in the past. How long has that been? Almost 6 years.
Yeah.
It's really because it was quite basic at first, but now there's all these added features, and you can send it off to your clients before they come, or you can do the in-person, and it's just a quick and efficient way, I feel like, of storing personal details. And also, if you want to go back and check something, it's easy enough to do that as well.
Yeah, exactly. I think, when it comes to storing clients' data, like there's only so many filing cabinets you can fit in your clinic, isn't
Yeah,
there? Like,
there was like filing cabinet on top of filing cabinet, and I was like, no, this is just really
yeah. And also, like you say, trying to look back on someone's consent form from like a year ago, and you try to, oh,
file it properly,
then
not read that
yeah,
writing.
that's it. So I think,
Yeah.
when it comes to that side of things, it's not only there to make things easier for you as a practitioner and for the client because they can fill it out on their email, but it's also there to protect you and your client as well because it's just so much more reliable. So yeah. So with regards to any of the other features, is there anything that you sort of would really recommend to someone who's maybe new to Faces, who hasn't used it yet?
So I would say one of my favorite things is that the client doesn't need to redo their details every time. I like that you can type in that it's an existing client, and then some of their personal details already pop up. Otherwise, it's not fun for them to constantly be signing forms. And I mean, I don't see my as regularly as some clinics do. So I can imagine that if I'm getting fed up, then for them that must be a really popular feature.
Yeah, 100%. Because I think particularly like you say, if you're doing like Botox treatments or facials, treatments which are a lot more regular, it's like, oh my God, how many times do I need to write my address?
Am I not moving every 6 months?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously it's there for a reason, but yeah, the fact that you can duplicate the forms and your client's data is there as an existing client is so helpful. So obviously this doesn't necessarily apply to you because I know you don't focus on the aesthetic side of things, but as you'll know, there are talks of regulation coming in with semi-permanent makeup. Obviously you have your licensing already, like you're kind of ahead of the game with it, to be honest. But what are your sort of personal views when it comes to bringing regulation into this industry and it being a lot tighter?
I think that's a really interesting question because it's not that I don't do aesthetics anymore. I definitely still do. I would just say that I'm not focused on it. And the reason that I took a step back was that I felt like the market was becoming so oversaturated. And there was like complete price wars going on because it was suddenly like everybody was qualified in lip filler. And for me, especially with like my nursing background and how much effort and hard work I put into that, I just felt like I can't compete with you on price. And I feel like it's almost too easy. So I think regulation is a great thing. I think people need to be kept safe, and not everybody needs to be offering the same treatment.
Yeah.
So from two perspectives, obviously the safety aspect, but also as a business owner, if Sally up the road is doing Botox in her front room for 50 quid, I mean, that's not going to work for people who are running clinics, have got a lot of overheads, but also paying all the other extras to keep people safe as well.
Yeah, exactly. I think, but I think when it comes to clients' knowledge, clients are very clued up now because good and bad in the industry, they see all sorts online. And I think it's sort of general, I mean, I could be wrong, but I'd like to think it's general knowledge now that if somebody's offering 3 hours of Botox for 50 quid,
Right.
It's not Botox and it's not a prescription.
Yeah.
And
Did you see a prescriber before you got that Botox for 50 quid? Probably not.
yeah, exactly. Considering the product costs double that,
Yeah,
and then you've got your prescription fee. So I don't
absolutely.
know. I feel like when it comes to clients' knowledge is increasing in terms of, what
Yeah,
best
I think that's
practice is. However, I think as well it's tough because, we're in a cost of living crisis. There are people who would just be like, I don't really want to go to that person, but it's the cheapest option, so that's what I can afford. And I think that is probably where the struggle
which
is
is,
mainly.
but what we're offering also is a luxury service. So
Yes.
I think there's that tie up between what can I afford, but also this is a luxury service. It's not a necessity. So I think that also does need to. There's some consideration that needs to go into that. But then also it's up, at the end of the day, it's up to the client where they want to go. So
Yeah.
it, it's all a little bit murky, but I definitely think that some type of regulation is definitely needed. And in terms of like location, I think is really important. Like you do need to be in a clinical environment, not necessarily QC registered, but I
Yeah.
do think it does need to be like there is for the licensing, some rules about what type of environment is
Yeah.
happening. Are there washable floors? Is there washable walls? Is
Yeah.
there a sink? All these types of things I
Yeah.
think are really important. Client
Yeah.
safety.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, safety is the most important thing, but I think as well, like you say, it is a luxury. It's a luxury getting these types of treatments. They're expensive to train in. You're paying for a
Yeah,
skill. You're also paying for, you know,
products so expensive. So
yeah,
sometimes I look at the price of some of these services and I wonder, how are you doing that for this price? Because I'm in the same industry. I know how much the products cost. I know how much your training was. I know how much the overheads are. How are you affording to do that for that price? Where are your products coming from?
yeah. It's a real concern. But I think as well, going back to what I was saying about it being sort of a luxury, and you're paying for a luxury service. I think it's so much more than just the treatment. As soon as that client books in and the service you give them when they walk through the clinic door, like, it's
Absolutely.
all an experience, that you want them
It's
to
all of
feel special.
yeah. It
Yeah,
is. It's all about the aesthetic and all the hard work that you've put into creating a great space for that client as well. Because I know when I go to a great space, that plus the services, what makes me want to go back. We
yeah,
always want to eat nice restaurants, right? So you want to come to nice clinics.
100%. I completely agree. Yeah, it's all about the experience. And also when it comes to treatment, that might be the highlight of somebody's week or their month. They might be having a
Yeah,
really hard time at work, really hard time at home, and them coming in for that hour or however long to sit on the couch and just chat to you is
yeah.
like,
Honestly, that's actually so special. Is those times when you have those clients who, you make a real connection with, and
yeah,
they stuff about them, they remember stuff about you, and they
yeah.
just leave feeling happy. And there's actually no better rewarding feeling, I think, working in this industry than that.
Yeah, no, it makes me want to become a practitioner with this speaking to everyone, and they're like, when a client cries when they look in the mirror, I'm like, oh my God, like it must just make you feel like you're making such a difference to someone in terms of their confidence, in terms of just making their day. Is there anything else? Obviously, that is quite clearly quite a big driving factor in terms of, what you love about the industry and what you do. But what other things do you love about your business and, the industry we're working in?
I love working with other women. It's so nice. So like you're working with other women. I learn so much about people's lives. Like they share things with me I don't expect them to share, and I think that that's just really nice. So I'd say like we've made the clinic a really like safe space. Like everybody's welcome. We have men and women here. It's
Yeah,
actually quite it is nice when we do have men for brows as well, because it doesn't happen often. But it is really special that then they trust us to do their face as
yeah,
well.
100%.
um it's like beyond actually loving the work that I do, and I find that really rewarding, it's just sharing moments with clients and the fact that they chose us. I mean, that's really nice.
Yeah.
From what can I
Yeah, 100%. I love what you said about, working with women as well. Like, I feel like when I went on a yoga retreat once and it was just women,
mm,
and
mm,
the yoga instructor, she was like, magic happens when women are together. And I felt that. I was like, I think I cried when she said it because I felt it like it is so special.
And empowerment, and they might be from a completely different working environment, home life as you, but there's always something that we can find to connect about. There's something that we have in common, or a experience that we've had, or a place that we've been that we can talk about, and just like gel over that, even though these are people that I probably wouldn't often necessarily meet in my walk of life.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you get such a variety, especially getting the odd man in. I bet it's like, oh my god, like quite exciting because
we were all like, oh, it's a man, hi.
Yeah, because that's the thing. It's particularly with men, it can be a really difficult thing, getting treatment.
Yeah. But then also it takes quite a lot of bravery, because they might feel like they're entering a women's space.
Yes.
We are, yes, the salon is run by women, and we are predominantly women, but it doesn't mean that you're not welcome.
Yeah.
So that's, try and let them know.
Yeah, nice to have a little mix up every now and then, different conversations. So just finally then, lovely, what is next for you in your business then? So obviously you're loving doing the brows, you're loving everything that you're doing, and you're training as well. What are your sort of next goals for your business in the next 12 months?
So I'm going to continue with my training, continue seeing my clients. I've actually got a really exciting collaboration for a training course coming out with another practitioner. So I'm really looking working on that together a little bit more, and then releasing that, and then I suppose being able to showcase our skills and just like share with more women. Let's make more female bosses. Let's all make money together.
Yes, 100%. This is the energy that we need in this industry. But thank you so much for coming on and speaking with me today. I've absolutely loved our conversation. All right, lovely. Thank you. Bye. Bye.